Another brick fan here with a look at the hidden side set. This is Newbury Haunted High School. This is set 70425, was released in August 2019, has 1,474 pieces, 8 minifigures, and cost about $130 when it was released. This set is full of very interesting details that you can look at as we move through the main build here. There's also 8 very good minifigures if you want to count Spencer as one of the minifigures. There's also a little ghost bear that we're going to take a look at as we move and look through the set. Let's dig into the main set. Looking along the front, you can see all this nice detailing on the set. There's a very nice entryway with a door there in the back. There's this nice ivy growing on it, the good brick patterns on the side. Here's the school bus stop with a small bench. On the second story, you see some more windows. There's a little shutters there. There's a clock tower that includes a bell up in the tower, as you can see, and a little bat on the top. The other side of the high school looks a little bit worse for wear in the sense that it's got one of these sides broken, but it looks pretty symmetrical. You see some cracks in the windows as well. In the middle, along with the clock, we also have a Newbury High sign there. Like all of the hidden side sets, this does transform. Open these up, there are claws that come out on either side here. The front opens up to reveal some teeth and a big mouth. Both sides open up to reveal some little tentacles on there. And you see there's a big transformation that happens to the high school in its haunted form. I do like these great big claw pieces. I think they look really good. They're on a rubber band so that when the side is open, they snap out to give you that claw look. A lot of really interesting haunted features here. Last is to turn the clock and you get the eyes of the high school. So here it is in its haunted form and looks quite good. A lot of the detail though around this set is along the back. So let's turn this around and take a look at all of the little details that are inside our haunted high school. The interior of the high school has all kinds of really nice features, lots and lots of details. And we'll try and get to all of them as we kind of look through the floors. So let's start down here on the bottom floor. As you can see, we have a little bathroom here, which is just big enough to get in there. You can see a roll of toilet paper, our toilet bowl in that nice light blue color, and then a plunger. Little green barn doors here. It's interesting to note that this section here, you see that it moves a little bit. This is what can help activate the claws in the front. So we'll tip down and push the claws out on the bottom there in the front. Moving over to the cafeteria or canteen area. Some really good prints over here with the different food items. There's a croissant, some pizza in there, hot dogs, glasses, cups, lots of different things to look at in there. Very detailed cafeteria. Even underneath, you might not be able to see really well, but underneath there's some vegetables in these drawers here and behind these clear pieces here. Moving over to the entranceway, you can see there's a clock here. And it has a print down or a sticker down here to show off the workings of kind of a grandfather clock. There's a table here in the middle with a map. on it of the area. There's little stations here so you can take the figures and then have them positioned around this map table. There are, up in the corners, so if you look up here in the corners, there are these pieces which have additional reading material on them, and these can be placed right here. Notice they have a bar piece on them. So you can put them in there as a reading element. And there are two different ones. And they are stored up in the corners of the high school, up in those towers. Moving over just a little bit more, you see the rest of the library with some drawers here, books, and like on the other side, pushing this out opens up the closet in the front of the high school. Moving up to the second floor, we have our computer lab. If you look very closely back here, there's a picture of what looks a little bit like Albert Einstein to me. There's an engine here placed backwards in a trash can. Moving over a little bit, you can see the Newbury High School banners up there. Some additional chemistry stuff here on the walls. There's 3 seats there for students to sit in. Right here in the middle is a chalkboard. But this also has a hidden feature. This will turn around. And now you see a picture of a little girl and a haunted teddy bear here. Here's our little haunted teddy bear, who looks very nice, good little figure. If we look closer at the picture, it does say Lady E, who turns out to be one of the big bad guys in this set. Turn this around. There is a action feature up here. So you see the nice bell, and there's this bar here. If you press this down, it locks this into place. There's some Technic pins and another bar piece in there that prevents this from rotating when the bell is down. You can just push it back up into place, and then it will rotate freely after that. We have the rest of the science lab here on the second floor. There's a little trophy case there, some announcements. So there's a help wanted sign over here on the side. A few more chemistry things over here, perhaps a biology lab with our skeleton in the background. There looks like what it looks to me like a periodic table, a sink, and a couple of jars of something here. The extra books that I mentioned are stored right up there in the tops of both of the towers, as you see there. There are also lots of play features that work interactively with the application itself. Let's take a look at a couple of those. Here's the intro to the app as it comes into the high school. And we look at the gloom areas. So down here in the corner is where we have the color wheel. So we rotate this color wheel. It wants yellow, so let's go to yellow. Line that up, tap. Now we can find the gloom. There's gloom right there. So we found all of our gloom. We can now change the color wheel again. We can get rid of this gloom first. Go down and change the color wheel again. Other things we can do underneath these tiles you see here, there are different colors. So we can tap red there. As you can see, once we clear some gloom, it asks us to find another color, and we can continue on moving through the app. Let's go ahead and switch it up and take a closer look at the minifigures now. Here are our two main characters, Jack and Parker, along with their ghost dog, Spencer. Jack has the same legs as he always does that have this nice printing with the silver on them. He is wearing his red jacket over his hoodie. So he maintains the same hoodie piece, which is dual molded with the hat and hoodie. The red jacket is printed very nicely, but as you can see, it creates kind of a pink where the sweatshirt is supposed to show through, so that printing some of the red is bleeding through that white print. Parker now has taken off her jean jacket. She's still wearing her torn jeans with the knees. And now she's wearing a black shirt, you see, with looks like a pink fanny pack that's slung over her shoulder. She's also still wearing her yellow cap with the purple hair. So that's a piece that you see frequently in all of the different sets. Spencer is a little ghost dog here that is done clear on the bottom, and then it slowly blends into white, which I think is a very nice effect. Both Jack and Parker are carrying their cell phones, so you can see their ghost hunting apps are up and running. You see some more of that clear on Spencer as we move around the figures. You see the back of Jack is pretty plain, with just the back of his red jacket, and then Parker, you see that strap for the fanny pack that goes around her back. They both have alternate expressions. Jack, of course, looks pretty scared here, and Parker just looks a little irritated or perhaps shocked. So nice alternate faces for those two. Let's move on to the next minifigures. Next up we have the other two students. This is Wade and Paola or Paula. They both have nice prints on their torsos, no printing on the legs. Wade is obviously a freshman. He has the very short legs, and he's wearing his basketball uniform here. Paula has a very nice smile, the glasses, and of course a jacket. So she's wearing it looks like her Letterman jacket from Newbury High School with the NB. Their team mascot apparently is the Squids. I like the hairpiece for Wade. I think it looks very good. And then moving around the figures, you see that Wade is number 22, and there's a large Squids logo on the back of Paula's jacket. They each have alternate expressions. Wade looks kind of sad to me, and Paula looks a little scared. So apparently she's seen some of the haunting or the gloom that has hit Newbury High School. Let's move on and see the high school staff. Here are the three staff members that come with the high school. On the left is Rose Davids, who is the principal. In the middle is Mr. Clark, who is the chemistry teacher. And then Mr. Elton, who is the janitor. If you've followed the hidden side, you know that Mr. Elton is also El Fuego. You can kind of see when you look through and see that bullseye underneath his school janitor uniform. Starting on the left here with Rose Davids. Principal looks good here with their glasses. A couple of little marks on the side of her face there, some freckles or something. The pantsuit that she's wearing looks very good. Double-breasted suit with a little collar there with the frills around the collar. Our science teacher, Mr. Clark, looks good here with the bow tie and the nougat suit. I like how the pinstripes go all the way down his legs. Those match up pretty well. I don't like the color of his eyes behind the glasses. They're very hard to see. The pupils of his eyes might not even show up very well on camera. So it kind of looks like he's just wearing glasses with no eyes underneath them. Mr. Elton, of course, looks very good. Big grin on his face, nice Elvis-style hair. You see his ID here on the side, some other tools wearing around his belt here in his uniform. Move around to the other side of these figures. And we see that the backs are pretty plain on all of them. Just a little bit of sculpting here. The pinstripe continues on our teacher, and then just a little bit of texturing on the back of Mr. Elton. Each has an alternate face, all of which that look quite scared. So obviously these teachers and staff are not very excited about their high school being gloomed. Speaking of gloom coming to the high school, let's take a look at the 3 characters that actually get haunted or gloomed inside of our set. Here are our 3 gloomed characters, and as you can see, the ones that get haunted or gloomed are Mr. Clark, Principal Davis, and Wade. I like the use of the spring green hair pieces. Mr. Clark has this really wide hairpiece and hair flying all over the place. This is one that I've seen several times in these sets, but I still like the hair there. It's long in the front. It's dual molded, so it's clear or it's translucent down here on the bottom, and then it gets more opaque as it moves up to the top, which is a nice touch. You see Wade here has some very long spiky hair, also done in that nice spring green color. Get the principal out of the way here so you can see these wing pieces. You see that they just fit around the neck here, and then they have kind of claws almost on the fronts here. And then some nice sculpting of them in the back, which I think look really good. No alternate expression on these faces, just kind of some of these flames. These are pretty typical ghost heads for all of them. Quickly, you'll see on the back of Principal David's, there's a gap here in the hairpiece, and then some curls up on the sides. Just a really nice hairpiece, and she looks really good in this haunted form. Let's go back to the main set, and I'll give you some of my final thoughts. Overall, this is a really nice set. It's done into this very large scale, all kinds of play features in there, and of course you get to use the app to interact with the model in lots and lots of different ways. Makes it very good. I like the minifigures. I have now the students over here on the right, and then the teachers on the left. Of course, the ghost forms with more of the bat-like wings on a couple of them are very interesting, and you get a quick peek at the big bad guy from the series in the picture behind the blackboard there. One thing I didn't mention at the beginning is another small transformation which happens on the school bus stop. You can see that the bench transforms into a monster here with a nice sticker there with several eyes and then a bunch of the spring green teeth underneath there. A very quick and simple transformation that goes along with the other transformation in the high school. Real quick thoughts on value with 8 minifigures, or 7 actual minifigures, and then Spencer. And then close to 1,500 pieces. I think the $130 price point in the US is a great deal. Not to mention all the playability and the great play features that are in this, and all the little hidden gems. If you look inside, there's just a lot of stickers that are put to good use, and a lot of very nice rooms inside of the high school itself. Hope you've enjoyed my thoughts on this haunted high school. I'm going to get started on my next video. Until then, happy building! If you enjoyed this video, help me out by hitting that like button. And subscribe to my channel to see more content. I've left a link to my Hidden Side playlist up here on the screen.